last plane or some shit. I don't know.
You're in the last plane.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I thought we
speaking
were
of,
already in there.
yeah, welcome. Hello, it's D&D. We're here. We're back. I'm thinking we're back. You guys are on the plane of the ferry court of Atlantis, and you've been here for still been under a day, I believe. I think you took maybe one rest, maybe it's 2 days now. I think you took a rest during travel, so it's 2 days now. You've been here for a little bit. You've encountered some stories. You encountered an elf who led you around in the woods of this place for a while. Everything here seems to be based on these like fairy tales and things, but some of them were fairy tales from cultures you don't recognize, or simple stories of small villages rather than any widely known fairy tales. But you did end up actually encountering Jack, who had a massive beanstalk he needed to climb and a giant to kill. And, well, you tormented that giant quite a lot, actually. It was quite a scene you caused, and eventually the giant did die after Drost, as a toddler compared to this giant, broke every bone in his body. And, yeah, it was a very bad day for Mr. Giant.
Oh god, I remember that. Oh fuck, was that actually where we left off?
That's not
Oh
quite.
my god!
What's up?
Shouldn't have had so much health.
Yeah, sure. He shouldn't have had so much health. That's real.
It's true. He wouldn't have suffered as much.
Yeah, just that's the way the dice rolled. This giant could not do shit to Drost, was not expecting combat, so you just fucking smashed his feet and his shins until he got down to your level and then started hitting him in the face. It was a bad time. And while he was very immobilized, you found a sword in his room, stole that, ran off with it. Giant died when you cut down the beanstalk. The end. So, after handling that, the whole situation you had uncovered through... I believe you discovered it because one of the stories you were in had a giant who wasn't originally part of the story, who was slowly being changed by some curse, some fey curse that was placed upon him. And it was revealed to you that he is not actually native to this plane. He was sealed here along with the giant that you just fought. And it turns out that if you participate in these stories long enough, you begin to get changed by them. And that's what was happening. The giant at the top of the beanstalk was getting fat and wealthy because he was the giant at the top of the beanstalk. And the giant who was unfortunately playing the part of a very, very ugly, very, very incompetent ogre in the town, just was getting uglier and more incompetent over time, unfortunately for him. So, you wrapped that up and continued on your way towards the Prince of Frost's domain, which is where you were told is the closest portal to get out of here. And that happens to be where your world anchor is pointing as well, so you figure that's probably the best bet. As you've been traveling through these woods, they've been getting colder and colder, and the trees have been turning into more evergreen trees as you go. Snow is now all over the ground, and I believe most of you have winter clothes you bought during a previous adventure here that you've all changed into at this point. Unless you don't need it, which a couple of you don't, but regardless. During the journey, you've taken a bit of a camping break to heal up a little bit. So I think everybody should have a long rest. If you're not long rested up already, make sure you've got everything checked off. If there's any early day post long rest spells and things you want to get off, probably a good time to mention those. But
Wait, we're getting off early in the day?
yes.
Damn.
Huh. Novel.
So while you're resting, Drost realized that a new rune had been carved into his hammer, and it is now upgraded to, I believe, the maximum tier. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So you can now cast Chain Lightning once per day with it, as the final benefit has been unlocked.
Wait,
So-
I'm the caster here. What the fuck?
Shocking.
Well,
Shocking, yes.
can you cast Chain Lightning?
All pogged out.
I can't cast Chain Lightning now.
Unfortunate.
Shitty caster, if you ask me.
Damn.
Hey, yo, fuck you.
I'm sorry, Leroy. Can you cast Chain Lightning?
You
I don't
get
recall.
feeble-minded or ask again?
I mean, you
So-
could try.
I can
couldn't.
ravenous void this whole team, and we can just call it a day. Like it's.
I mean, you
Let
can
me
try.
Is this how
let
we're
me
gonna
tell you
go
what
out?
my
Is this it?
suite of teleportation spells.
We get back to the other group, and I just tell them all, "Sorry, guys, the other group TPK'd, so you don't get any help in this next journey."
They TPK'd themselves.
How'd they TPK? Like, what did you throw against them? Nothing.
They
I
had a
didn't do
deck
shit.
measuring contest. None of them won.
They encountered a 20th level bard.
Yeah.
It didn't go
20th
well.
level warlock,
Yeah.
20th level monk.
The
Yeah,
anti-party.
Full fighter.
Actually, the monk had 1 level of ranger. Real strange.
True,
but,
true.
Yeah.
True.
So a little more context on what you guys are currently doing.
No problem.
The Prince of Frost's domain is where you're headed currently because it is a portal to the actual court of the fairy court. The whole plane is called the fairy court itself, but there is a physical location within the plane that is most central, where all of the sort of planes in a ring surrounding the central plane orbit. You're currently in that outer ring of interconnected stories and demi-planes and such. And the portal leading to the center, they're very well protected usually. They don't tend to just be out there and randomly. They tend to be where like an archfey has taken up their residence. So the Prince of Frost has one of these, and unfortunately for you all, the Prince of Frost is real racist. Like extremely racist against mortals specifically. He does not like people not from this plane. He had a bit of an issue. Who knows how long ago? He was apparently the Prince of Summer a long time ago, but then his betrothed ran off with a mortal, and so he cursed mortals forever, and has just decided to eternally hunt down any mortal that comes into his domain. Unfortunately for you all, he would probably consider all of you mortals, even though a couple of you no longer age. You might be able to make that case to him, though. Who knows if any quote-unquote mortals that are no longer mortal have actually made their way here, and so on. But you know that even the elf that was traveling with you, who was actually an Eladrin and a native of this plane, still would not go in the Prince of Prince of Frost's domain, due to...
Frost death, same thing.
Yes, due to herself being considered... even though a native of the plane, still mortal in some way, unlike the Archfey and the other lesser Fays. Yeah, that's the current situation. And as you've been traveling, you've been getting closer and closer to a incredibly large castle made entirely of ice that you can see in the distance. So that is the
Cool.
situation. What y'all doing?
Well, first I'm gonna make sure I
Put that
hit
out.
my long rest button.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you all think there's any possibility that we don't have to face this ice prince?
Mm. It seems more
The-
likely than not.
Only way is perhaps if you can all make yourself small enough to fit in my pockets and I can sneak through to wherever the portal is. But that's a long shot.
I hate that we gave the other party the key.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably morph one person into a mouse. And that's probably it.
Yeah, that's not quite enough.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe we just need to give him something he wants.
What would he
We'll see.
want?
Revenge?
I mean, he probably does have blue balls.
True. Frost Prince and all that.
I do not volunteer as tribute.
That would be bussy.
Good God.
On the topic of blue balls, here's the official artwork for the Prince of Frost. Just that We're all on the same page.
Yep, very blue.
Yep, very blue.
Uber
Oh
blue.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. He's been hitting the gym so hard. He's down a pile.
He keeps making Facebook accounts just so he can delete them, just to get on that
Hey,
train.
listen, guys. We can
Look
make
at
jokes
the-
about his abs and stuff, but like there's a dead ass dwarf in the ice behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his chin. That is like
That's so fucking pointy.
that's a sociopath chin.
No wonder why his wife left him, girlfriend left him, whatever left him.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so his balls are blue.
Yep.
How are we going to give him revenge?
Yeah, I don't.
We could get out to his castle and talk to his people.
That's true. I mean, the general cadence of this place is that there's a story to complete. And if we can complete his story in some way, then I'm sure things would work out well for us.
Except that he's uber powerful.
Well, it might not be a conflicting, like, you know, if we simply move the pieces in order to bring about the end of his story.
Do we happen to know of the story of the Frost Prince?
I bet our friend does.
I believe they've told us the gist of it, and the current state is he wants to kill all mortals.
Yeah, does she know how it ends?
How about somebody give me I think of what role would be most applicable to this. I kinda want to say Arcana, but I feel like I throw a lot of rolls into Arcana. I think
I mean, I have
that's
a
still
+7 in Arcana, so I'm fine with it.
I think that still might be most oh yeah, definitely performance.
Persuasion check.
You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yes. So Eli, you can roll performance. This will be a slightly different angle of knowledge. And then yeah, that'll be trying to think of stories you've heard that might relate to this versus an Arcana check for like nature of Fey type stuff. There's probably an argument to be made for that being nature or something instead, but let's just go with Arcana. It's Eberron. All magic is science.
All magic is science.
Oh, I'm rolling Arcana.
Oh yeah, anyone proficient in Arcana could roll it.
Let's go. 21.
Pretty good.
13, even better.
Okay. Yeah, even better.
It's lower and still prime.
Well, we're playing Call of Cthulhu, right? So lower number better. That's all it goes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nick just agreed that 21 is prime, so.
21.
I don't remember what prime means. Joke's on you.
So I'll actually start this by giving the answer to Leroy's role. It'll help make sense of Eli's as well. Leroy, you would know a thing or two about how the Fae operate here, especially after hearing some things from the inhabitants here and chatting with them a little bit, piecing things together. That plus your own book knowledge, you've been able to figure out that well, a lot of the lesser Fae of the plane tend to be participants in stories, right? And some of the characters in those stories that are especially impactful or have portions of their story fulfilled or whatever tend to grow in power. The Archfey themselves are different, though. They don't tend to be a part of someone else's story. They tend to be the ones that are generating the stories, whether that's necessarily them literally writing them. Most of the time, not. But they tend to be the ones that are shaping the plane, and then the stories that crop up around them happen because of their own attitude on the world around them, if that makes sense. So rather than the Prince of Frost probably being a member of a story, it's more likely the Prince of Frost is his own thing, and spawns a lot of stories based on that.
Okay. So he's a creative, like a generating creative spirit.
Yes, exactly. So rather than being bound by a story, he is the binder of stories. Yes, he's a generating force, exactly. And then yes, for Eli, hopefully that helps make some sense of it too. Eli, you've probably heard multiple stories about a Prince of Frost from different cultures around different places, different tales you've heard of things. None of them necessarily are like, this is the story of the Prince of Frost. Like there's, the story of Snow White or whatever. It's more that he is a recurring character.
The one version. There's
Yeah.
only one.
Only one. Yeah, he's a recurring character in multiple different things that will pop up here and there, mostly as a villain, just because of who he is. Or there are stories that are told, within the domain of the Prince of Frost, where everything is awful and people suffer constantly, or people are on the run, or mostly like horror stories you've heard or performed or whatever. So yeah, none that seem to have a resolution to his story. Though, perhaps you all could be the ones to create that.
True. We are also creative people, beings.
Indeed.
We've already created several stories around us. Novel resolutions, if you will.
That's one way to put it.
What if we go to him as like, what if we make a story about him and perform it to him to like garner some I don't know, peace, sympathy? I don't even know if he'd let us like perform a play about him or something without killing us first.
We would have to be very persuasive, and you are, to convince him to hear us.
I mean, I am pretty damn persuasive. I could definitely do something.
With the
Why
way
don't-
we operate, I feel like cause a disturbance and sneak through is our best bet.
That's a strong bet for sure.
Mhm.
Companion person, whose name I can't remember. Is she still here?
Yeah,
No.
is she still a thing?
She would not come with you into the Prince of Frost domain.
Cool. Do I see any cops around?
You are alone in the forest, but you can make me a perception check. Maybe there's like
Or
a rabbit
other
with a police officer hat on or
Goodness.
something. I don't know.
Yes.
Officer
Perception.
Hops! Officer Hops!
Judy Hops?
You take a quick glance around and you don't feel like any of these trees have ears. You're probably okay.
No, they wouldn't have ears. They're trees.
Right.
They're knots. Anyway.
You don't see any ears or eyes, so you think you're probably safe.
I would like to work on composing a song of the compilations of stories that I've heard about the Frost Prince to try and evoke emotions in this man. To maybe have him feel something.
You want to melt his frozen heart?
I want to melt his frozen heart. I want a heartfelt, like soul crushing song to write, and I'll roll a performance check to like write it or whatever. But I want to start composing.
All right. For now, let's skip the check, but we'll just say Eli starts composing for sure.
Heck yeah, I've composed.
The opposite of what you
Eli
did.
doesn't necessarily want to fight the Prince of Darkness because that sounds scary. Or Prince of Frost, sorry.
They do look pretty dark too, though. To be fair.
Spooky. Prince Spooky.
What are the rest of you doing?
I don't know.
I mean, you could just keep traveling if you got no other ideas, but if you want to
Mm.
prepare something before you get there, now's probably the time.
I mean, I will cast Foresight on Eli, and I guess I'll throw one on draw. Well, I'll hold the
Whoa.
other one.
What's foresight? I've never gotten that casted on me before.
It's a little bit of extra on your penis. It normally gets cut off, but I can add it back.
I love
Oh
that one.
my
That's great.
God.
That's fucking great.
That's
Thank
really
you.
good. I like that.
That's terrible.
I've been looking for a good foreskin joke since I got this spell.
Oh God.
Priorities.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely have them right.
So you know the spell
Yeah.
regenerate, right?
Yeah,
Just in this context, would that
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
that's the one that gives you infinite food,
Probably, technically.
It'd
That'd
probably
absolutely
technically work.
right? Mm-hmm.
Now,
Well,
if you use the spell regenerate and you were already circumcised,
It would regenerate.
yeah,
would it?
exactly.
The same shit happens if
Circumcised.
you become a vampire.
Circumcised.
Jesus Christ.
I happen to know her mouth is full of ice cream, and that makes this way funnier. If you get circumcised.
Now, here's the real question: if you cast regenerate on someone, do they get a new set of baby teeth?
Oh!
The wisdom teeth come back in?
Yeah.
No, no.
Yo,
I
is
mean-
regenerate a horror spell?
It could be.
Taylor is like champing at the bit to enter this chat right now.
Oh shit, my appendix is back. This will not cause any problems in the future.
Oh man, my gallbladder.
You like walk into the surgeon's office is like, sorry, we're gonna need a whole run again.
Yeah, can we just get a do-over real quick, just a run back?
You walk in, the receptionist looks at you and you're like, yep, the usual.
Jesus.
I'm gonna do a little wraparound.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Wraparound. Have you guys not seen that video?
Is that like a reach around?
No, it's someone going like, "I'm gonna do a wraparound," and then whatever they're holding, they just roll around their head, and they're like, "Ooh, wraparound."
I have not
What
seen
the fuck?
That sounds like TikTok.
It's
that. Uh-huh.
Parentheses derogatory.
Hey.
I'm sure it's funnier to actually see it, but your description of it.
I'm sorry, it's a pretty bad description if I'm being honest. Listen,
It-
Eli's good at performing. He's not good at explaining the performances, though.
It's all
Like, he
good.
can tell the joke, he can't explain the joke.
It's all good. It's all good.
No problem.
All right. So we've determined what beyond all the
So
jokes.
we are a mess.
That I cast Foresight on Eli.
Right. That is the actual in-game action that happened. Okay, we got there.
And I am composing a song to melt his cold heart.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and is nuts.
Especially that. Yeah.
And his blue balls, yeah.
And I'll try to find some explosives? I don't know. What the fuck?
Need some beads of love.
Composing a song
No.
that'll
Yeah, give him a tug.
warm his heart
No.
and tickle his balls.
That's what I'm
No.
saying.
Yeah. All right.
Oh God.
I mean, I don't know which way Eli rolls. Like, this could determine it, really.
Jesus. All right. Are the rest of you just sitting around while Eli composes then?
Sure.
Just
I
waiting.
mean, we're probably walking along.
Are we going with my plan as plan A? What the fuck?
We're the land of the Fae. Things don't make sense here.
Yeah,
I think plan A was everybody get in Nakara's pocket, and that failed. So this is the new plan A.
Okay, plan A prime.
Plan A prime, yeah. I assume plan B is extreme violence.
Oh, always.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
but at
No,
least
that's
you have
That's
a
always on the table.
Okay.
That's plan B, C, D, and F.
Right.
That's what he is.
Okay.
What's E?
I did think I think she missed E there.
She definitely said B, C, D, F. My life is made up through the letters A through G. I know about E.
E is we all die. So like,
Right.
Oh, cool. We'll skip that one.
So, if you're
Oh,
all
man.
traveling towards the castle while composing this music, I'm assuming if you're composing music, but you're likely not traveling stealthily.
probably not. Eli wouldn't be, at least.
I would at least be keeping an eye out instead of composing.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, Eli's probably just like workshopping ideas for lyrics,
Mhm.
and then he'll play the same chords that he
Chords.
always plays.
Makes sense. So,
Yeah, I'm sure.
So you're walking along, and you're getting closer and closer to the castle, and you enter into what is stretched out on all sides around the castle, which looks like the remains of a city that was here long ago. It does not look like anyone has lived here in an incredibly long amount of time.
Oh, dear.
However, most of it is somewhat well preserved. It's not like literal ruins, like just foundations and things sticking up out of the ground and mostly collapsed things. No, a little bit more than that. Everything has sort of been frozen over. So a lot of things are well preserved, but obviously nobody lives here. I mean, like I said, it's all frozen over. Some things are collapsed here and there. You've got roofs that have caved in. You've got most of the wooden things have rotten away to most of the degree that they could, and so on. But just by the sheer amount of ice coating everything, it's far too cold for anyone to be living here at this point. Yeah. So a complete. God damn it, Charlie. True. Yeah, complete wasteland. It appears to be the city that was originally, supporting and surrounding the castle previously. But again, doesn't appear that this king has any real subjects anymore, or prince, I guess, has any real subjects anymore. He just has hatred. You guys are moving through the streets, and it's a weird juxtaposition of your the terrible, cold, dead background all around you, and Eli just walking along, strumming, coming up with lyrics, singing multiple things over and over again, trying to find a new set of words to say. In a song that'll warm his heart. This very warming song being echoing off the cold, dead walls around you. The spark of hope moving through the city. And Nakareth, as you're walking, you do notice one by one a couple of figures beginning to follow you as you move through the city.
Surprise.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah, I would alert everyone telepathically, and then I would like to try to sneak up on them, like stealth away from the rest of the group, and sneak up on them.
Okay. Yeah, give me a stealth check.
All right. 38.
Sheesh. All right. So you let Eli continue to be a distraction as you slip off into an alleyway real quick, dart up the wall of a building, and sneak up behind one of the figures that has been lurking from rooftop to rooftop behind you. And you see, I think I have a token for this. I should have a token for this. Yes.
I swear to God, if this is a cop.
Little small, but yeah, there you go. You find a figure that appears to be made entirely of ice, who has been falling behind you, and despite the relative bulk that they have, they seem to be rather light on their feet, especially in this terrain, and aren't making very loud footsteps quiet enough that only you were able to hear them previously at the distance they were at. And yes, they have a quite long, heavy-looking sword that they're wielding. As you sneak up behind them, but they're mostly just using it to balance their weight at the moment.
Well, they look rather serious. Shit.
It does not appear. Well, give me a perception check real quick.
Okay. Perception. 25?
They appear to you to have more in common with an elemental than like a fae or another like mortal being. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, so they're probably a direct servant of
Indeed.
friends. Well, do we fight these or ask them to take us to their master?
That second one feels a lot like literally asking to be arrested.
Yeah. So I feel like that happens enough to us that we're practiced. We'd survive.
But also, like, if we come in hot with violence, the prince is never gonna listen to my song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working
Well,
hard on
he
this.
might respect
Excellent.
you more, actually.
Um. Hmm. I don't have a good way to distract them to diffuse the situation. My other option is to come back to you guys or engage. So thoughts?
I really couldn't tell you.
I mean, we can try ask and take us to your master, and then if they're like, no, we're gonna just fucking kill you, then we go with Plan B, fight them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
I guess I'll start by trying to connect to their mind if it will let me. To speak and be like, "Hello there." Pulling Obi-Wan.
General Kenobi.
Hello there.
All right, so you reach out with your mind, and it is a strange feeling mind that you connect to initially. And normally you have to grant somebody the ability to speak back to you, right? Through the link? Is that how that
Yes.
works? Yeah.
Yep.
So before you even get the chance to allow them to speak back to you, they speak back into your head, like immediately. You
Oh shit.
barely get through some of your syllables of hello there, and the figure will just spin around and lock eyes with you. You'll see that there is no mouth on this creature at all. And he speaks to you with telepathy that is very well. You know what? Let's just say it's very cold telepathy on your brain. They put an ice cube in your brain while they're talking to you.
Brain freeze.
Exactly. And you'll say, "Halt! By order of the Prince of Frost, you are to be detained."
Are you going to take us to him? We'll go with you if you take
Please
us to
do
him.
not resist. It will get up and pull his sword out of the roof that he had it sticking into and begin to approach you.
I'll
You'll
dodge.
see the other figures on the other roofs stop being stealthy and just all stand up and start
Oh,
to
shit.
lift their swords and stuff too, as he has clearly telepathically alerted them as well.
How many?
didn't know how they snort
There are 6 of them.
That's not my
Oh, okay.
I would like to cast the spell Thaumaturgy.
I don't
And-
think. I mean, I don't think you're aware yet, just yet.
Oh.
So
Oh.
it's.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
still
this has
practicing my
all been
little song
silent,
then.
sneaky stuff.
I will say, I guess they're starting to be less stealthy, so there's a chance. But I want to
Yeah,
give you on the initiative here real quick, just first, and then
Alright.
we'll get back to Eli. So you said you dodge, is that right? Nakarth?
Yes.
Right, so he'll say, "Do not resist," and approach you with his sword down, not like he's ready to strike with it necessarily, but at a ready position, and reach out with his other hand to try and like grab you by the shoulder. So I guess that's you can take acrobatics at advantage.
Sure.
Yeah, you rolled super low. You fucked up.
Well, acrobatics or athletics?
True. I guess
Right.
athletics might be higher for you because of the wisdom thing. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh yeah, you crushed it. So he reaches out to grab you, and you were extremely ready for it. So you very quickly duck and slide out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cease your
I
resistance.
would like to decline. And alert everyone telepathically. They're telepathic. There's 6 of them.
Interesting.
And then cast Hunter's Mark on the one in front of me because I don't want to get arrested.
Okay.
And that's probably where we should roll initiative.
Yeah, if you guys are intending violence, then that would make sense.
I'm intending
mean,
violence.
I
Oh,
wouldn't say I ever intend violence.
Eli was gonna like boom his little voice and be like,
Oh.
"I've come with a message for the prince," but
Oh,
not
okay.
that
Then I
far.
can hold off.
Yeah, so as soon as Nakarth alerts Eli uses thaumaturgy. Sounds like.
That's
Okay.
good.
Oh, hi there, everybody! I've come with a message for the prince. I have come peacefully, and I would love his attendance so he may hear my chilling tale about his majesty.
As you're saying this, that you can start to see the figures approach the edges of the roof, and just the roofs that they're on all around you, just one by one, just drop straight off the roofs to the ground below. No attempt to like roll off the landing as they land or anything. No, they just like sink to one knee directly on the ground and prop themselves back up with their sword and slowly start moving towards you. But go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
I feel like this isn't gonna work because they seem pretty
Fickle-minded.
yeah. Oh, that's such a bad roll. A 20.
Do you get a thing when it's like a minimum of a 10 on the die or whatever? I forget.
I do get a minimum of 10 if it's lower. That wait, let me.
You rolled a 3 on the die.
27.
27. Sorry.
27 as a minimum is pretty crazy. All right.
Hey, I'm a bard. It's like the one thing I do good.
Not like sing.
Well,
You-
like bardy stuff is what I do
Yeah.
good at.
Charisma.
You hear
Yeah.
projected into all of your minds after Eli shouts this out. We will be taking you before His Majesty. You will have a chance to speak.
That's remarkably egalitarian.
Please do not resist.
We won't lead the way.
Okay, I'll stop resisting then.
Okay. Well, he's
Oh my
gonna.
god! Like I'm not even resisting.
Despite your
I'm
non-resistance,
traveling?
these guys are cold and they are brutal. So Nakarth, he will grab you by the shoulder and he will shove you to the ground, pull your arms back, tie your hands together, and the rest of you have the same experience, unless you would start resisting once they're very rough, they're very cold, they're very brutal. Yeah, that's the situation you're in.
Oh, well,
Split
be
up
careful
with
with my dulcimer. That's required for the attendance thing.
No response.
That's fine. I assumed they'd be like that.
real
Is-
life queens.
Everyone submitting to being the hands tied behind their back.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So they all, tie you up and then pull you back up to your feet. It takes a couple of them to pull Drost up. Probably a couple of them to pull Leroy up too, to be honest. But they are all
Cool.
very
Intense.
strong, you feel, for sure, especially as they're shoving you to the floor and tying you up and stuff. But still, Leroy and Drost are extremely heavy. So
I
There's
like to
that.
think I'm so easy to lift up. They go over and lift me up, and it's like when you're lifting up a milk carton that you think is full, so you put all the force in it, so it flies up.
Exactly.
Yep, perfect. All right, so you are led. Your hands are tied behind your backs, and then all of your bonds are like tied together, and you're led down so that you can't leave each other's distance very much.
We're gonna
And
be
you
together forever and ever.
forever and ever.
And we're never coming down.
Nope, you're not making it back either.
No.
And so these ice beings, these guards, will lead you through the streets wordlessly, unless any of you would attempt to make contact. But so far, it seems like they haven't responded to anything that hasn't been directly related.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time.
That's fair. And so it's a slow, cold trudge through the city towards the castle. And as you get closer to the castle, a few of the guards will begin to peel off from the group until there's only 3 of them remaining with you as you get to the gates. And now there are a lot of guards around you inside this place as well. And all of them are pretty much identical. Like maybe the ice has formed in slightly different ways around them. They're not like perfect clones of each other or anything, but they're all wearing roughly the same suit of armor. It looks like they all have like the same basic structure to them. They don't really have faces to speak of, so I would say they all have the same face, but there's not really one there. But clearly they've all been made in the same way, even if the results didn't turn out perfectly the same for each of them. And yeah, lots of guards throughout this castle. You're led deeper and deeper in as these everything in here is made of ice, as I think I've described already. But there are much stronger looking ice that looks like dark, like metal, that you can see in a few places that form like the grates and the bars of gates and stuff that are all around you. And you're led through some of these metal ice gates as you make your way deeper into the castle. And eventually, you're led into the throne room, where you are brought into the center of the room and pushed down to your knees before the Prince of Frost's throne. And here, let me just realize that I forgot to put your tokens on this map ahead of time.
We have a map.
Wild.
What is it, 2020?
Yeah, how often do I do that, huh?
Been a while.
I don't want to be rude, but yeah, it has been a while. I'm like excited.
And so much of this, it's been hard to figure out where people would be having battles and stuff. This one was a little easier to figure out.
Oh, totally.
Wait, you mean to suggest there could be a battle right now?
No, definitely not.
You're
Not
just
with
gonna
the battle
sing
mat.
peacefully.
Yeah, guys, I'm confident in Eli so much, but at the same time,
All right, everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got the 3 guards that have led you in here, set you down. They've stationed themselves around the room, and they've all just got their weapons ready. And then the Prince of Frost at the far end of the room at his throne. Everything in here is made of ice. Yeah. So the Prince of Frost is on his throne, and as you enter, he will clap his hands together and laugh a little bit. Oh, look, the virtuous heroes approach. Oh, wonderful. Were you here to finally take my throne? Finally end my reign of terror? And look where it brought you.
no, we came willingly, and we are here as performers to talk about your great story that's been passed down among us.
Among Us?
Among us.
Bum, 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 bum,
Would it
bum,
would it hurt to tell him we
bum.
literally don't give a fuck about him when we're just passing through?
Yeah, I mean,
you could throw that in
so
there if you want.
the assumption that we are noble heroes who've come to kill you is certainly a revealing one, but that is not our goal here.
It's always your goal. You can't convince me otherwise. Why else would you be here, in this place? You've heard the stories, I'm sure.
What?
The Prince of Frost, you've heard of me.
I mean, like on the way here. Yeah.
Well, this one said they wanted to speak of my greatness, so you've heard of me.
Well, yeah, he thought he could flatter you with a great story.
I am very good with stories, I say,
He's
with
an
like a bunch of
excellent
blinky
storyteller.
blinkies.
You should listen to him.
The words of a mortal. Surely you jest.
Oh, the words are immortal.
And I have an immortal dog, so
Okay, you got me with that one. Still, though, you are very brave for coming here, so I assumed you were heroes. I'm sorry to hear that you are lesser than that.
Well, we are heroes, but it's not brave. Like, we could just leave. This is not the point. My friend has a great story to tell you. Eli?
well, I kind of need my hands for the story. I
Oh.
like I have an instrument and everything.
Why would I listen to the tales of a mortal?
Well,
I do not
the
understand.
tale of you.
Have you heard the tales of the mortal before?
I have heard many a mortal tell me many a tale.
Have you heard the tale of the strangers?
That is not one I have heard.
Well, yeah, you're
Most-
already sitting on your throne. But sit down and I'll tell you the story of the stranger. I'm gonna sing the song that I sung like when I first met the group. Like their tale.
Okay, about the strangers that heroically
Yeah.
saved the town from the fireball and the phoenixes and all that. And the,
Yeah.
Which is what we
yeah.
did.
Yeah, which is what you did. Yeah.
I didn't do it, but y'all did.
No, absolutely. We saved the town, guys.
Yeah. From the tremendously bad problem of
So
Did not jeopardize it in
Phoenix.
any way whatsoever.
you start
we
singing.
solved the problem.
You did solve the problem. You start singing, and he will cut you off. He'll say, up, up, up. No, I did not give you permission. You must convince me. Why would I allow such mortal art to corrupt these halls? I should just kill you now, but it would be more fun to inflict more pain in the meantime. The slow deaths are always the most fun, of course.
You self-styled despots are all the same. You think violence is art. Do you do anything else for fun?
Well, it's not really for fun.
Well, it sounds
Do
like you
you
wanted it to
do
be
fun?
fun.
I haven't had fun in a long time.
Well, you could.
There's always a start.
There will be no fun in the Prince of Frost's domain. He will slam his sword into the ground.
But sir, your majesty, why not?
This
Why
needs therapy.
why forbid fun? Fun is what heals the most aching hearts.
Heals the aching heart. It's all you
Oh, yes.
mortals that have hearts that would ache and feel things. I have no such weakness.
Well, if I'm not incorrect, you once had feelings, right?
A rumor, and a poor one at that.
Yeah. What's the truth then?
I am the Prince of Frost. You are in my domain, and you will cease this insolence.
Listen, it wasn't your fault. All right? Like, whatever you're thinking about why what happened, it wasn't your fault. Like, you need to let go, buddy. I mean, your majesty.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Potentially with advantage because of the foresight?
Yes, because
Hey!
always with advantage because of foresight. True.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. B5!
Sheesh.
Yes!
Dab on the haters.
Let's go.
Therapy works, motherfuckers. Hopefully.
Therapy is supposed
We'll
to
see.
work. Moral of the story: does therapy work?
It's not my fault, you say. Not my. And he looks off to the side a little bit, no longer focusing on you. You see the grip in his sword loosen a little bit. And then he shakes his head a little bit, grips his sword, and looks back at you and says, I do not like these feelings.
But it's
You have-
natural to feel.
You have revealed to me a weakness I did not know I still have.
But
And-
it's all right to have that. Because your other strengths balance it out.
Roll me another persuasion check.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All that therapy's popping off.
Jesus.
36!
Let's go.
I'm just getting better.
Fine. If I do still have a heart after all these years, sure. Tell me your story. He'll nod to the guard in the back who'll walk over and cut the ropes off of Eli's hands.
Right? I will begin to tell the story. And maybe I'll add in a couple verses of like the travels we went on further ahead to save the world and whatnot. But I'm going to try and tell a beautiful story about our team.
You mean the Prince of Frost?
Oh, wait, what does he want the mortal story? Or does he want the Prince of Frost story?
Can I use insight to tell which story he might be more receptive to?
Sure. Roll me insight.
Okay. 32.
32. He seems like ludicrously self-centered.
All right.
Think about him. Think about him. Think about him.
I was about to make a very heartfelt story about us, and then I'm like, oh wait, shit, this man is self-centered. And then I make it
welcome,
all about
Eli.
him.
And Nicole's just like, skip to him, skip to him, skip to him. In your
He
head.
like plays the opening chord for a song that we know is about us.
Everyone looks back and forth. You sweat a little bit. It freezes immediately.
All right. I'll tell the Prince of Frost story.
Okay, so a story about the Prince of Frost. I know there's not a lot of details to work with. They were just gonna describe to me in broad strokes what you're. Are you trying to paint a story about like his redemption eventually, or like, are you just trying to tell it like it is? Like, what's kind of the goal of this story you're telling about him?
I wanted to tell the story of like basically his like turmoils or like the fights he's been through and like where it will lead, like where he'll end up being. So like kind of the redemption story, but like with a little bit of somberness in the very beginning to invoke that emotion, and then it leads into like it could be happier. I want you to be happier. Da, 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 or something like that.
Roll me a performance check.
With advantage?
Absolutely, you're foresighted. You have advantage on everything
Yeah.
the whole day, basically.
This is amazing.
It's fog as fuck.
I've never been You guys never foresight me.
It
This is
is-
amazing.
Yeah,
It
that's
is-
because we want hundreds of DPS instead most of the time.
It
Does
is
it make sense?
on one hand fog as fuck. On the other hand, disables like 3/4 of the features of the game from mattering at all.
Oh yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
it does make you very good for a day at everything, which is good.
And like this
Yeah.
is a perfect day to pick me.
True.
Exactly.
Working.
Unless he turns around and says, I'm gonna kill you guys anyways. Then sad.
Yeah, but maybe
Fun.
he'll be debuffed because his heart's so like melty and gross.
Maybe. His balls are falling out.
Yeah. They're just sagging real low.
Always gotta wrap around back to the balls.
Yeah, that's the
I'm gonna
callback we
do a
needed.
rapper.
he
Oh,
he tries to
no.
charge us, but he accidentally kicks himself.
Oh no. The Prince of Frost's legendary balls.
I don't include that in the song.
Despite the legends. I mean, perhaps
Despite.
the Prince of Frost is the origin of blue balls, but you don't
Oh
include
my
that
God.
story in your song. Yeah. So with a 31, a ridiculously high total,
Yeah.
you play the song, perhaps one of the best songs you have ever performed. And despite the cold all around you, and the cold perhaps sapping some of the dexterity from your fingers, you push through and you still sing an extremely heartfelt song. You tell an extremely heartwarming story about his redemption. You start, again, like you said, with the dreary beginnings and the situation he finds himself in now. But yes, you include that spark of hope that Eli himself represented earlier, walking through the town singing despite the cold bleakness around him. And yes, in this cold, bleak, you might notice the map is named the Throne of Frozen Tears, this very sad place you find yourself in. You sing a song that brings him some hope. And with a roll total that is the basically impossible results, you see him sit back in his chair, and a crack forms in his face along the ice, starting from one eye down the cheek, almost like a trail of tears.
Wait, hold up.
Hold up.
Oh wait, yeah, like
Hold up.
hold up, like
Whoa.
Wait,
a
Trail of
tear
Tears,
rolling down
Pog?
his face. Pog? Oh shit! No.
Shit, am I gonna kill the Prince of Frost with heartbreak and sadness? I didn't realize
gonna
it was
free
the Throne of
him.
Frozen Tears.
Yeah,
Ah.
so looking like a tear rolling down his face, a crack forms down one cheek, just the one cheek, not the other cheek. He'll just sit back in his chair, and he no longer looks like he is he's no longer tense like he was before. He's not gripping his sword so strongly anymore. He's sitting back in his chair, not necessarily relaxed, but no longer tense, if that makes some sense. And that it clearly looks heavily impacted by this song.
Let's go.
Fine. Okay. Perhaps things can change. You're right. You knew more about me than I thought.
Eli bows. Deep bow.
I suppose I could grant you all a quick death instead. And he looks around at the guards.
Well, hold on. We actually are here on kind of life saving for everybody important business.
Life saving for everybody.
Everybody, including your plane, including the other planes, including the entire universe.
Okay, I don't care about the rest of that. Well, you said my plane.
Yeah, your plane is also included in that. Yeah.
We're on a
here-
mission from God.
Yeah, we
God
are
damn
on a
it.
mission from God to save your plane. We need to save your plane.
You come before me. You bring forth this weakness that I have not recognized in far longer than any of you have been alive.
That you eventually can turn into strength.
Sure, yeah, whatever. And then you say I cannot defend my own domain, and you are here to do it for me.
Do you know who Baal Shalor is?
Yeah, no.
You don't?
See another Archfey?
Is it Raktalkesh?
What?
That's not our
Wait.
current problem.
Please forgive our
No,
friend.
I'm trying to flex here.
I
The
haven't
we
I haven't
need-
been to the courts in quite a while. Is that like one of the new upcoming members?
we need
No.
Another hero?
Raktalkesh.
It was Raktalkesh.
It was Raktalkesh.
It's the planar embodiment of violence and war.
Yeah, okay, I feel that.
Yeah, we killed him because he was a problem.
Right.
And now we're dealing with a bigger problem.
not an
So yeah, it would
Okay.
destroy
per se.
this.
Well, clearly I could have taken care of that too because we captured you and brought you here. So we, you know.
We walked up to your cops and said, "Take us to."
Leroy.
Yes.
Yes, you could have defeated we just say Ractal Cash. Dozing off
Yes,
for a second.
Raktalkesh.
Ractal Cash. But this force that we are looking to fix is different than your average foe or enemy. It is a intangible thing. It is the balance of the plane itself. And God gave us like the magical ability to balance that plane. So we are just asking for a brief ability to remain here, fix the plane, and we will be out of your hair, I promise. You'll never see us again if you do not want to. Hello, cutie patootie. I'm trying to have a speech right now.
Are you
That's a weird thing to
suggesting? Are you suggesting that my plane is out of balance? That you would change something about it? What? Too cold for you? It's just the way I like
cold,
it.
actually.
No, we're fine.
I have a Saint Bernard. She loves
mean,
the cold.
So what would
rather
you
I'm made
change?
of metal.
We would more fix it in its glory. It would not change from this and be
Stabilize it.
saved from destruction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's less of a change to the plane and more of a change to the way the plane interacts with all the others. In a way that sort of makes all the planes more grand, including this one.
Yours
This one,
especially,
honestly,
the
would end up
shine.
being the most grandest, to be real with you.
Probably many people are saying this. I heard it on the way here.
Roll me a deception check.
With advantage!
With advantage.
Hell yeah.
30. This is my worst roll yet.
The grandest of
Well.
the plains, huh?
Oh, holy shit.
Well, we've crossed 100 between those 3 rolls.
Laying on the persuasion.
I am trying my best
Give me a
here.
4. Oh, or 3. That's true.
Please, sir, I don't want another boss battle. I'm going to start having a giggle fit. I'm not saying this actually, but like, it's what Eli's thinking in his head.
The grandest of the plains, huh? Perhaps that is the start of how things change for me. What do you think?
Oh,
I
fuck, was he
become
sunsetting?
the grandest prince of all of the plains, of all of the universe. And maybe that will finally make me happy.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Again, many people are saying this.
Also like the power of friendship, but we can touch on that later.
You're already the grandest of this plane. If anyone could do it, it's you.
Honestly, a stepping stone for you. Why not take it a step further? Become the prince of the multiverses.
Multiverses.
Multiverse?
I think that's a video game, right?
That is
Yeah,
a-
I will
yeah,
become the top
multiverses.
multiverses player in the
I
competitive
happen
scene.
to know a being that could potentially help you if you help us. see
See
your
a
way into
bean?
the into the multiverses. Mahadi.
Oh
Oh, a
yeah.
being. You said a
Yeah.
bean.
Being and being
I mean,
I
are
was
in
being.
fact
saying
the
being,
same
but
word.
like in my accent ends up being bean.
Jack and the magic being stock.
Jack
Yeah.
pops out of nowhere. He's like, I'm here to help.
All right, you have my attention.
Yeah.
So he'll nod at the two guards on the side. Will come forward and cut the bindings off of the rest of you as well.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Go.
So you connect me with this otherworldly being.
Bean.
This otherworldly being, and
I don't think he's gonna be like being called a bean, but okay.
you will be the first mortals I have ever let go.
Well, that would be remarkable and story worthy.
This marks a great change, a new era. Yes. Yes, I like that. The beginning of a new tale. We have a deal then.
I think so.
Oh, shit, Fey deals. Oh
Otherwise,
no.
otherwise it's
Uh,
back to the swift death rather than the slow death. That is my best other offer.
I mean, it sounds like a very good deal to me.
Please allow us to put this anchor. I'm assuming it's gonna be beeping behind, like around his throne.
No, we
Sort
gotta-
of, because he has a
You gotta
portal
put it
that
up
will.
inside him.
Yeah, right. Ant-Man versus Thanos style.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
he's got a portal that leads to closer to the center of, which is why you're here.
oh. Okay, yeah,
Talking
fair.
about my boy Thanos.
Exactly.
Would you be able to allow us to travel to the fairy court? You may even accompany us or your guards, so we may complete our task, and we can connect you with this being.
Persuasion check, please.
Don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. 37.
All right.
Didn't fail you now.
Fuck yeah.
Did not fail you now.
Gil did not fuck you.
That's true.
True. And he's never gonna.
You remain unfucked by Gil.
Thank God.
Yes. Sounds good. The start of a new tale, the start of a new era, the start of my new reign as, well, the eventual, most glorious prince of the multiverses. Yes. To mark this occasion, I should really visit the court. I've got some bragging to do. And you may accompany me as well. I can show you around a bit.
Wait,
Sure.
he's totally gonna murder everyone else at the court, isn't he?
Probably yes. But then we won't be fighting him alone. I say as
So
quietly
no-
as possible.
I'm not even saying it.
Telepathically.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
So,
probably fine.
A deal then.
Yes.
Deal.
Deal. Is the core the center of this plane? Is that the idea here?
Yes.
I already got that, Leroy.
It
We
would-
should clarify.
It would definitely be the center, yes.
That's a goal then.
I don't know why the center would be
Wonderful.
so important, but it does lie in the metaphysical center of the plane, yes.
Think of planes like a spinning top.
Well,
You
they're
need
not
to
all like a
balance it at
spinning
the
top, but this one is, yes.
Wait, there's a better explanation here. Eli, do you have a pencil and a piece of paper?
center. All right, we're not. We're getting way too into it now. We gotta just go.
Yeah.
Very well. I shall go prepare. If you need anything, just ask one of my guards. I will have them all get you whatever you require, although I must admit we don't have many things mortals would need here, like food or whatever. A room, perhaps, if you need to stay. I should not be that long, though.
All right, take your time.
Very
Let us
well.
know if you need anything, sir.
He'll snap his fingers. The guards will stand at attention momentarily and then approach you all in what looks like a threatening manner at first, but you realize is just the intensity of their devotion to following orders. And then they stop before getting to you with their weapons and just stand at the ready for whatever you would require of them. And the Prince of Frost will turn behind his throne and exit through a door at the north of this room. And we will go back to the landing page because that map's no longer needed.
Eli
can't
lets out
believe-
a long, 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 long sigh.
This is how I feel on my stealth missions. I hope you know.
Excellent.
I have never been under so much stress in my goddamn. I need to call my therapist.
So would
Just gonna-
you do anything at the castle before you leave, or are you just going to wait for him and go?
I don't want to risk tarnishing the work I just put in.
Yeah.
Eli's going to be a nice little adventurer and just sit silent and wait for the opportunity to put the anchor in.
I'll browse his library and see if there's anything interesting that I can read.
Okay. They are all stories about him, or records of people he has captured, tortured, and killed.
No.
Of course, yes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, pop
What a
literature.
So he
Beth.
is extremely self-centered. Everything here is only about himself or the
I'm a
things he
little
has
bit
done.
of a fucking sadist over here. Like,
Yes,
god
What
damn.
the fuck, man?
he is an
Oh, I think you
extremely
mean-
evil character. Yes,
He's the saddest.
right.
That's why he wants to
Get
be
it?
happy.
Yeah.
I want you to be happy.
No, he is like the evilest of the Fae. By
And
a
we made
long
him
shot.
cry.
We
Yeah.
made him cry. I feel pretty good about that.
Only in
We-
tier 4
we
can you
touched
make
his balls.
This
that.
is like our first encounter in a long time we have gotten through with zero violence.
This is the
Yeah.
first encounter in a long time where the other team lived.
Jesus.
Not
True.
wrong.
That's 100% true, though.
Yeah, like he's honestly lucky.
He doesn't realize how lucky he is.
All right. So, you guys wait for a little bit, and he will come back eventually and catch up with you all. Probably a guard would be dispatched to find a car in the library, lead you back to the others, and everybody gets rejoined. And he's no longer wearing that very aggressive-looking suit of armor. Instead, he's wearing like a
Really low tide bathrobe.
yes,
Yeah.
no. He is wearing a very, very fine looking suit that almost seems to sparkle, like it's just covered with like rhinestones all over it, but you know, that kind of vibe. The same shade as his armor was previously. But yeah, just very slim fitting suit that is
Oh.
very sparkly but black, and that is
Oh
what
my
he has
God,
chosen
he
to wear.
looks like a lesbian.
I think I
Jesus.
know why his girlfriend
He's-
left him.
He's dressed as Prince.
Yeah, he's wearing he's got a pair of glasses on as well that are also sparkly. He was not wearing glasses before, so you know he doesn't need them, but he's going to wear very fancy looking glasses regardless.
My God, what a pretentious motherfucker.
What a fucking asshole.
Yes.
Is he eating an apple too?
You know what? Now he's eating an ice apple. Yes, when he walks into the room. Yes, he's eating an ice apple. It looks rotten, but he's eating it anyways.
Oh God, man.
He probably can't taste anything.
Honestly, yeah, his taste buds are probably just frozen.
It has been a long time since I've broken this one out of the closet.
Oh, he has
Are you all
closet.
prepared?
Oh
I
God.
bet.
What did Leroy say, sir?
Oh, I said I bet.
Oh, okay. So he says, "Are you all prepared?"
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose.
Very well. Right this way. He'll snap his fingers again, and this time, instead of guards coming from like around the corners and stuff, they like frost will appear on the floor, and the guards will sort of just form out of the ice on the floor into the shapes of the guards you've seen so far. Well, there we go. The freshest and the best for our journey to the court. Right this way. And he will head out the door, and the guards will follow behind you as he leads you down beneath the throne room to a very large portal frame of ice with a swirly, very bright portal in the middle, which is surprising because everything else around here, cold, dreary, icy. This portal that's locked away in a basement room here is just like swirly, magical, bright, like rainbow, happy shades, like all sorts of, it's the exact opposite of everything that's around it. There's
I
probably
want to go hang out at the other planes.
that's probably a reason why he locked this portal down here out of sight of the rest of his mansion here, his castle rather. Yes, through there should be the Moonlit Vale. I have not been in many years. Should be fun. Fun is what we're looking for, right? That's part of the process.
That is part of the process.
Got it. Yes. Well, after
I believe
me,
that is
and he'll
what
walk
it's
through
called.
the portal.
Killing
After
everyone.
me, my God, this man.
I think
He's
he's great.
worse than the fucking lady from the Plane of Fire.
It's just elementals. They're all it's
Yeah.
all ego.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
exactly.
It's the elements,
It's
man.
the ancient elementals. Yeah.
Yeah, all you elementals are the same.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Not all elementals.
Nope, all
God.
elementals.
I mean, they all kind of look the same if you think about it.
Yeah,
So
like
through
sure,
the
this
portal.
guy's made of ice. The one was made of fire. But like,
God. So through the portal,
To the portal.
you enter the Moonlit Vale, which is indeed lit by moonlight at the moment. Unsurprisingly, surprising literally 0 people based on that name. And what is immediately around you is not like a entirely civilized place. You don't enter into like a place you would expect a portal to be where people would be coming and going quite frequently. No, you're just out in the middle of the fucking woods, and there's a trail. And that is where your
we're in
portal
like
ends up.
France or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. You enter into
Horrible.
France. Either way, though, the moonlight filtering down through the trees above, and there are like fireflies everywhere, also helping with little specks of light here and there. Much brighter fireflies than you would normally see on the material plane, and they seem to be helping, fill out the light of the forest a little bit here, and keep it a little brighter than night would usually be. Not quite as bright as daylight, of course, but you exit from extremely, extremely cold, dreary, bleak environment to bright to a degree, warm, happy Fey land, and you all immediately feel very warm in your winter clothes if you had been wearing them.
Yeah, start stripping layers.
Eli starts strumming. You would not believe your eyes. You would not believe your eyes.
You would not believe your eyes.
Excellent.
We're just like, what the fuck are you talking about, Eli?
The lightning bugs.
What?
Yeah.
What is a million?
10 million.
10 million, true.
Well,
Let's see, the path, it was over here, okay, I think we just go this, yes, this way, of course, I know where I'm going.
I double check the marker just to make sure he actually knows.
It is pointing in vaguely the direction he's headed.
All right.
And the path he takes is not particularly direct. He sort of weaves through the forest, and the path kind of curves through random different features of the terrain and stuff. It's not a straight line, but you are headed in the general direction of where your anchor points. And everywhere the Prince of Frost steps in this place, just a couple plants die as he continues to walk through this place. But he doesn't notice that because he's already walked past, and you're all behind him because, of course, he's going first. But so you all notice this easily.
The Prince of Frost is Agent Orange.
Yeah, he's just cutting a very cold, dead line through this forest, making his own path. Yes, this
depressing.
way. The Palace of the Moon. This is where we'll find the court. Yeah, none of you have been to this place, I imagine.
Oh
Never
no,
had the chance.
no, not yet.
Ah. It's not quite like my castle, but it is beautiful here.
Oh yes, very beautiful, but nothing like your castle.
Yes, I see. Glad to have more people of taste along.
Eli's like silently gagging in his fucking mouth. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this place as much.
The only song I get.
I was about to say, shut the fuck up. But never mind. He's playing along.
Yeah, and Dross seems really comfortable just like sucking up to a fascist.
I mean, he's really just taking notes.
Fair enough.
How to be
Evil.
annoying.
Dross has like a really suspiciously worn copy of The Prince. Or the Little Prince, whatever it is, the Machiavelli book.
Mine Frost.
Huh?
No.
You know what? That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
Sorry, sorry,
But I
sorry,
don't mind actually. That was great.
sorry.
Oh god.
That was good.
We did deserve that.
Yes. So you continue walking through the forest.
Huh?
Huh? And you very quickly see in the distance a massive tree towering over all the others. Not just because it's tall, but because it's wide, it's extra thick.
Oh,
Yes, indeed.
my favorite kind.
I like them big.
God. And spiraling up the outside of this tree is essentially a city built as like just treehouse city all up and around it. It's like spiraling upwards that gets higher and higher levels as it goes. He says, "Ah, yes, there we go. The Palace of the Moon. That's our destination. We should be there." He looks at his wrist where there is no wristwatch. In about 2 hours or so, I'd say.
Oh, it's always weird to me when people check their timepiece and then give a relative time. I did not say that in character.
Yeah, no, he's just an asshole who's just putting on every kind of show he can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Intentionally a dumb decision for him to do, yes.
I
Yeah.
occasionally just forget that I'm not wearing my Fitbit. But then I just look down and get sad.
Imagine owning a Fitbit, though. I mean, wow, that'd be rough.
I won
Jesus.
it at a biotech conference, actually.
Ooh.
That's kind of fog.
Yeah.
Also, most of my family wears Fitbits. I just don't put things on my wrists most of the time.
Oh, that's fine. Some people like wristwatches.
One of my friends is a huge watch enthusiast, but this is not relevant to the conversation.
Anyways.
True. So, unless other events happen at your discretion, a couple hours pass and you make your way there. Do any other events happen?
I mean,
Don't
You guys
think
just gonna
so.
assassinate this guy in the woods?
No, I'm not gonna assassinate.
I
He's
mean,
gonna end up
could,
dying once
but-
the universe like resets or anything. So like, I don't really care.
All right. So you make your way to the greatest of the Fey spires, the Palace of the Moon. Yeah, so you get there and you can see that beyond the first tree you could see in the distance, it was actually obscuring a few trees behind it as well. Once you get closer and you can see past it more, you start to climb up it, especially and you get around to the backside of the tree and you can see that this place is actually 4 trees, all this massive size, connected together all having these spiraling cities up the middle, and then suspended in the middle of these 4 trees is a massive Fey palace, just glimmering with kind of like a I want to say like it looks like sure, pearlescent, I guess. It's kind of like silvery with like a rainbow sheen across it. It kind of be pearlescent,
yeah.
right? Opalescent, sure, that makes more sense. So it's got that that like rainbowy sheen to it. It's almost too bright to look at a certain point, but it is not like a pure bright white light. It's sort of like a warm, like cream light with like that rainbow sheen to it. Yeah,
Love
there's
cream
bridges. Yeah, cream light, exactly. So you,
Anytime.
there's bridges leading out to it from all sides, helping suspend it, and it's probably mostly suspended by magic, realistically. But yeah. So you're led up through the city, and as you go, you notice that everybody kind of gives you a lot of space as you move through the city. Everyone who sees the Prince of Frost coming gets the fuck out of the way, and anybody who doesn't see him coming usually has somebody near them tap them on the shoulder or yank them physically out of the way and off the street. So you're walking up through the city that appears very lively ahead of you, and as you get through it, it becomes dead silent behind you. As again, the Prince of Frost is carving a path of dead silence through the city.
We are being escorted to the UN by Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, basically.
I am like so sad right now. We could have had such a fun time in any of the other bits of this plane, but no, we had to be near the Prince of
Nope.
Frost.
Sag. Now, the Prince of Frost seems to not mind this and maybe actually enjoy it a little bit. That everybody knows their place here, and everybody should give him the respect he deserves, which means silence, which means this place deserves to be a little bit more like his home, a little quieter, a little bit calmer, a little bit nobody in the streets. Why do we need people in the streets for? He's not
more civilized.
Yeah, so he's not vocalizing any of this, but you can see he appears pleased by this turn of events as he walks through the city, and he is very confident in his walk. He's like, yes, I'm back. This is good. Let's go. Let's get to the palace. No. You make your way up to the top of one of these spires that leads you into the Palace of the Moon. And there are guards at the edge of this bridge who, upon seeing the Prince of Frost approaching, very nervously for a second, but then confidently after they gather their wits, step in front of him and cross their spears across the way to block his path. I'm afraid we can't let you in here. Not today. Do you know who I am? Has it been that long? Do they not teach anybody who I... You know what? And he'll just hold out both his hands and just freeze both of them solid immediately. Well, they'll reach out to their weapons and just brutally snap the weapons off just above their hands and throw the spear tips aside. There we go. Much better. After me, of course. This way. We'll start walking down the bridge.
After me, of course. Oh, I love this guy. He's so great.
He is pretty based. I'll give him that.
He's just like me, for real, for real.
As you walk by Nakareth, you with your ridiculously high passive perception can see that the guards in this ice, you can see their eyes move to follow you as you walk past. They're clearly alive for now inside the ice, but yeah, they're frozen stiff. They can't do anything about it. And yeah, so you continue down the bridge unless anyone's going to stop and help these poor guards.
I kind of wanted to push one over, but I'm not going to do it.
No.
Are we the bad guy?
Rost is?
Drost is.
Drost is unequivocally the bad guy.
Guys, I didn't do it. I just thought about it.
Yeah, go back to 4chan.
That's hurtful.
Yeah.
Okay, so if none of you do anything with the guards, you just continue.
Yeah, I don't have a good way to help them.
That's fair enough.
I apologize to them mentally.
Oh, you hear back on the. Do you open a communication line with them or just broadcast to them?
I'll open communication for him.
Okay, so yeah, you reach out to the guards and you just hear back. Oh God, please help! Jesus, it's so cold. Help me, please! Don't let him in! Don't let him in! Please don't let him in!
Sorry.
I just imagine like a radio static cut off of the mental communication as you keep walking.
Yeah.
It's like their panicked calls for help silenced. And you
Wait,
make
do
your
I
way.
have anything fiery?
I think a better question might be, do I have anything fiery that I could do without the Prince of Frost noticing?
I mean, I can snap my fingers and make a bonfire, right?
Please
Potentially.
don't. Please. Not after everything I've done.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that stealthily enough that he would, like... Well, yeah, probably not.
Alright.
Sedge. Sorry,
Sedge.
guys. We'll get you later. We'll get them later.
We'll get them
Yeah.
later.
We'll try.
We never get them later.
Well, surely
I
we'll
had-
get them later, Clueless.
I had in all caps, like, italicized, bolded copium silent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surely we'll get them later.
Yeah.
Surely.
So
We'll get them. They're just little
long,
guys.
like long suspended bridge to the center of this spire. And as you approach the actual palace, and you get through the gates on the other side, it appears most of that blinding light was directed outward, not inward. So fortunately, once you're inside, it's no longer just like searing your eyeballs with rainbow light everywhere you look. It's just very shiny on the outside. Inside, it is still very nice. Most things in here are, very. It's still bright. I will say that because everything in here is made of either like marble or gold or silver. It is extremely gaudy. It's just like, how can we fit the most display of wealth per square inch of this place possible? That is the environment you find yourselves in. As you make your way into the the highest court of the Archfey. And yes, the guards on the other side would see you come through, but they will think better of it and not try to stop, realizing that if you already made your way under the bridge, there's probably not much they can do. But one of them does run off down a hall after seeing you cross the bridge, probably to alert somebody about something.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's. I don't blame them.
Welcome.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, sorry.
I was just
agreeing.
agreeing,
All
shooting the shit.
Welcome to the Moonlight Palace. Now, this place, I would like to make mine eventually. If I am to be the prince of the multiverses, this is just the next stepping stone on the path, you know? This place will be my palace soon enough. I will change it as I see fit, but I suppose I am putting one thing before another real quick. We should just attend the court, catch up with everybody for a moment. Yes, you've never been here, so why would you... this is such a rare opportunity for you to see the court, and, well, if you're looking for the center of the plane, this is probably where you'll find it. Now, before we go on, I insist that you, keep up your end of the deal. Introduce me to this otherworldly being that you mentioned previously. After all, I have brought you to the center of this plane, the center of my home world, and the most glorious place that exists yet. That will change.
People are gonna hide it when I don't like.
Plus, I also let you go, which is extremely rare.
I know, amazing, isn't it? Just is there like a private room I can go to call him?
Frank one. Oh,
Probably. Let's see. He's going. No, somebody roll a D100 for me real quick.
God, is he gonna fucking kill somebody and be like, "There's your room"?
86.
All right, yeah. So he just walks to a random door nearby and flings it open. And let's see, 86 is pretty high. So we'll say that it appears to be a bedroom, but the only person inside right now appears to be like housekeeping that's just cleaning up around it. He'll say, "Yes, this should do. Out, out, immediately!" And the housekeeping inside will all scurry out as fast as they possibly can at this sudden, like the door swings open so quickly, like one of them drops something that they were cleaning, it shatters against the floor. Like it is quite a scene, but they all get out of the way. They rush down the halls without saying a word. That's private room for you.
Thank you. I'm gonna go take my phone call now. Come on, guys. We can call him together.
He will step into the room with you.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, my dude. I need to meditate to communicate with him. You know, it's gonna take me a hot minute,
I see,
and he might.
You'd be distracted by my glorious presence. I get it. I will.
Your
yes.
presence is quite distracted in a good way, but like
Of course.
in terms of meditation. So if you don't mind, like maybe take a look around the moon, was it the moon palace, the moon palace, you know, and see if you you know, if there's any renovations that need to be done once you take over, of course.
Yes.
You know,
Good idea. I will take note of anything that needs to be changed around here. I'm certain there's quite a lot. So I will be back momentarily. And he will
all right.
head out.
Guys, I don't know what to do next. Oh, guys,
Mm-hmm.
I
Don't know how to
Oh.
contact Mahadi?
I don't know. Last time I just said, "Hey, Mahadi, I would like to bargain with you," and he popped up and said, "Yo, what's up?"
Well, we can try that again.
I don't know if he's
Yeah,
even like.
as Eli says the words.
Yes. You just hear a voice, strangely from an angle that none of you happened to be looking at that very moment, say, "Yes, I'm right here."
Jesus Christ.
And you see,
something speaking of the devil.
exactly. And you see that suave Rakshasa just leaning up against a wall behind you. He has got a cup of tea in his hands. He's just sipping occasionally.
Hey there.
How can I help you?
So, I may have the perfect being for you to maybe make a bargain with. Would you mind being able to? I'm gonna explain. Like, we went to go see the Prince of Darkness, and he was gonna kill us, and we have this mission to do. So
Right.
I said, like, "Ooh, what if you became like the prince?" Ha ha ha. He's really self-centered and a little bit uptight, like, and a little teeny bit dumb. So like,
So let me just get this straight. You made a deal with a fae involving me without my knowledge, and the deal is already set.
Oh,
Well,
the deal was
we
that
sort
just
of
that he speaks to you.
the deal was that,
brokered
yeah, the
a
deal
deal
was that
for
he
you.
would speak with you. That is the only deal. Was that I would set him up with a conversation with you. That was the only thing I said for that deal.
And he does think you will give him great power, but you know how you operate.
Yes, I'm quite okay with some tricks in this deal, of course. My main concern is you all are currently on the hook for this, and I am the only one who can get you out of it, is what it sounds like.
I mean, we could just kill him. We figured
Yeah,
we could get a
he's-
juicy Archfey soul out of the deal.
We could also just leave.
If you are confident in that option, I suppose that is fair.
I mean, that was plan B, C, D, and F.
Now,
we don't talk
this-
about Plan E.
No, you are the diplomatic option,
Right.
and you love diplomacy, so rob him for everything he's worth.
He's a real dick.
Now, it's my understanding that you all are working out the end of this world and the birth of the next. Is that correct? What about the sum of it? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So, there's a few suggestions I might have for the next world. How about this? You get me an audience with them, the progenitor gods that will be forming the next world. All I need is an audience. And
I mean,
I will give an audience to you with this Fae.
That does seem like a slight imbalance because, like,
There's a bit of a supply issue on your side. I could go to others to attempt to get this audience. Not that it would be nearly as likely to be successful, but I can also simply bide my time.
There's not much time left for this world.
No, I can wait until the next.
Fair enough. How
That
many
is
millennia
true.
is that?
Yeah,
I mean-
so wait a sec. How does that work? Are you like set for the next one?
I'm pretty sure he's set for the next one, Trust.
I'll simply go to a different one while this one goes through the whole rebirth process.
Oh boy. All right.
I told you he was the
Yeah, there's a
multiverse
few
guy.
others out there. I will admit this one is well, I tend to stick around this one mostly, if I'm honest. I'm rather fond of it. But when it is reborn, I will be elsewhere enjoying a nice vacation in a completely different world, and then I will return when it suits me.
Fair enough.
So, we have a deal, an audience for an audience.
That sounds fair enough, guys, right?
Eli, you can make that deal on your own. I
Um,
am not signing off on it. Strictly out of a sense of, like, propriety, of course.
It is Eli that has the other deal hanging anyways. That kind of does make
Yeah.
some sense. How many layers of deal is Eli gonna get into here?
Probably not the Milos amount.
Not the Milos amount.
Hopefully.
It might be equal now that Milo's killed one of the brokers of the other deal. But yeah.
True.
But anyways.
I mean, an audience for an audience isn't like the worst thing.
An audience is all I ask, of course.
Yeah, but what kind of monkey's paw bullshit is he gonna pull for the end of the world?
He
Well, except he
smiles a
wouldn't be,
wide tiger grin.
well, except he wouldn't be making a deal with us or anything and be with the progenitors. So like
That
you
And
know.
we all know that primal beings are super smart.
Are they not?
It's a universe baby.
Well-
Operative part being baby.
Oh, like meeting with them when they're like forming?
I-
I'm confused.
Technically speaking,
Pretty sure that's it.
the dragon gods that would become the progenitor gods are currently like the highest level of living god at the moment, if that makes sense. So they probably would not be primordial babies right now, but
Yeah,
they will be
Yeah,
in the
they're not
future.
gonna be. They're not gonna be dumb. They're gonna have brains. Hopefully not as self-centered and idiotic as the
They're-
fucking Princess Frost,
Yeah.
but you know.
They're probably closer to, the like the eldritch craziness that is higher level beings that see us as ants kind of thing than they are to be lesser like a baby.
Okay. Well,
Like not like perfect skin.
But they
Then
will
maybe
be like
Mahdi
that in the future.
fire ant.
But,
You're
like,
right,
at
yeah.
least the top of the level started with a tree. You know?
So, audience for an audience.
Eli, it's up to you to agree here.
Eli was gonna wait to see if someone else would do a deal before Eli did a deal, but if no one else says anything, Eli's just gonna be like, "Yeah, I'll get you an audience, sure."
Very well.
I just care.
Eli's our deal guy.
Whatever.
You may
Uh,
you may inform your Fey friend that I will visit him tomorrow at noon. Whatever passes for noon in this place.
He is right outside.
He is. We could just call him in.
Oh, do you want me to have an audience with him right now? Aren't you in the middle
He's-
of something?
I think if we don't have an audience with him right now, he's gonna flip out like a toddler.
He's a little impatient.
Does have, yeah.
I see.
It should be
you're taking a
very-
really
If
good
you
deal
don't
out of
have
him.
time right now,
Yeah.
maybe like a little written note, a little signature or
A
something.
written
Just to
note.
say like, "Hey, I'll meet with you at this time." Just say, "Hey, Mahadi, I've come to bargain," or something like that. like how I called you, you know, like
Yeah, exactly.
Dormammu.
Yep.
Yes, I believe I can do that. Let's see. Here's a bit of magic that was recently made a little easier to do. Let's see. I'm a little bit out of practice on this one. We will sign a single symbol onto a piece of paper. That looks like less like a piece of language and more like an intricately designed art piece, essentially. Not that it represents anything, but it not that it represents
just such a
anything
weave.
physically, but just by looking at this symbol, an idea is imprinted into your head that you know to be true and that you know exactly what it means. And yes, it is the note that you asked of him before. The like he'll meet him tomorrow at noon. This is Mahadi, all that stuff. And by some magical nature of this rune, you know it to be factual and you know what it means, despite not understanding what language it would be in the first place. Yes, the Modrons came up with this one. It's a bit of planar order magic. A little easier to do right now. You might be able to pick this one up now that it's been stabilized. It's
That's
quite a
really
neat trick.
fucking cool. That's really cool.
They use this to they use this as a form of punishment mostly, but I find that to be crude. It's more useful for other means.
I don't want to know what the punishment is.
Yeah, how do you use that as punishment?
I don't want
Like,
to know.
Oh, it's usually they will tattoo it onto someone's face before releasing them into the world, listing all of the crimes they've ever committed.
Wait,
That
that's
is-
just like flexing. What?
Not if
Has
the
he ever
crime is
heard
like.
X-Gon give it to you?
I'm sure there are individuals for which that would be more advantageous than not, and for such individuals, they would likely not find such punishment to be suitable. But for those for whom it would ruin them, it would likely be the chosen punishment. It generally wears off in 3 or 4 decades. Regardless, I agree. Crude method of punishment. I would much rather have other means, but it is very interesting magic and can be used in quite some interesting ways. So, yes, here's your note. I must get back to other business. Good luck with your ventures. And, yeah, as he hands you the note and says those things, and you look down at it, you look back up, and he's gone.
Guys, I'm
Alright.
fucked.
Yes, you are.
But
What?
not by
Not
Gil.
mentally, yeah. Don't fuck me, Gil.
It was you guys all talked at the same time.
Gil?
You are fucked, but not by Gil. Not this time.
No.
Yo, is Mahadi's first name Gil?
Nobody's asked.
Yeah, it's
I
because I
th- I
don't care
thought-
about him.
I
think
thought
he's-
Mahadi was his first name. Wait.
I think
That's
he's
the
just Mahadi.
implication. Yeah,
Mhm.
he is a mononym.
Yeah, because there's just one Mahadi. It's him.
Well, I know Mahadis.
I've screwed over my
Damn it.
character's happy epilogue. He'll never get that happy epilogue.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Screwed over your character's happy
In-
epilogue when you made your dog not age as he does.
Listen, that
Okay.
that was not a
we-
Mahadi deal, okay?
No, we're gonna move
Technically
on.
true. Yeah, that was a traveler thing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
I just like framing blessings as curses.
Mm.
Fuck you. It is such a blessing that you know will live forever. Will live until I am gone. So technically, she will not live without me.
You
So
hear
we will die together
Oh,
happily.
So you'll just die at the same time.
you hear a knock on the door. Yes, how is it going in there? Oh, sorry, meditating. Right. Never mind.
Oh, we're all set.
Oh.
We're good. You can come in.
The door slams open,
Of course it does.
and he bursts into the room with a flourish. Yes.
I hold out the note.
Aha, I see. Very curious. Yes, you have connected me with a powerful being indeed, I can see. You'll tuck that note away in his pocket. Yes, I've come up with quite a list of renovations this place will need. I'm thinking remove all the glass. We don't need it. Just open windows, you know? Get the fresh air through this place, the cold, crisp air. But yeah, I'll get to that later. Would you like to see the place now before I change it later? The
Yeah.
courtroom. The courtroom is where you wanted to go, yes?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as it happens,
For you.
I was. Yes, you're right. After me, of course. But as it happens, I was headed there anyways. I hear they're in session at the moment, so it's a perfect time to catch up.
Hey, this is my house one.
This is gonna be so awkward.
So he leads you down the halls to a very open room that seems to have its only purpose is as an area outside the entryway into the courtroom itself. So there's a large set of double doors that are like very, very decorated, like carved intricately with all these the figures of the court members, and you notice that the Prince of Frost is not on that list. You do not see any carving in this door that would indicate to you the Prince of Frost is a member of this place.
When was the last time you've been here again, Your Majesty?
Oh. You mortals count in such strange units of time. Many years, many years. I've
How
lost,
many
lost count.
moons?
Oh, well, the
Seems
moons are
like-
always overhead, so I don't know why we'd count with that either.
Oh shit.
Seems like maybe they don't still recognize you
Oh,
here.
I still have a right to this court.
Misunderstanding?
Perhaps I've been away for so long that they simply forgot about me, but we will fix that.
Ooh.
We're gonna walk in there. There's gonna be a new Prince of Frost.
Yeah, are you in a state of mind where you might be able to receive bad news? Because I don't like the way this looks from a optics perspective.
I do not
Leroy?
expect to have bad news in here. I expect that this will be just one more step in this new story This will be the first chapter.
Oh,
That's
You'll
okay.
see.
I lean into Leroy. Please start getting ready to plane shift us out of here as soon as I
As
put that thing down.
as you lean into Leroy, he turns
Ready.
around and just knocks the doors open with just slams them open inward.
Oh, I guess
and
we're going now.
Yep.
Oh,
Gives you
Jesus.
no chances to think about it again. Bursts into the room. And my brain just immediately thought of the Helsing Ultimate bit where he kicks in the
Yep.
music and yeah, you know the one. So he does that, bursts into the room, asks them to silence the background music, of course.
Were those our
and-
guards?
Yeah. You see a courtroom full of 7 other Archfey. You see what appears
Is one
to
of
be
them blue?
I don't know if any of them are blue, but let me read you their names at least. So you get
Okay.
I'm not going to go into a deep description, but the names should give you at least some vague idea of their vibe. The Forest Queen, the Forgotten Prince, the Lady in Shadow, the Harvest Monarch, the Mother of Invention, the Second Son, and Fortune's Fool are here. And there is an empty seat. It appears they did not get rid of his seat. And so he heads immediately over for his seat and sits down, and the rest of them appear to have been waiting tensely for his arrival, having been informed by the guards earlier that he has arrived. And there are guards stationed all around the room, but he ignores them, sits in a seat, kicks his feet up onto his desk, says, "I am back. Return to what you're doing, of course. I did not mean to interrupt."
What he doesn't know is they quickly rushed the seat back into the room when they heard he was coming.
Exactly. Yeah, they couldn't recarve the door, but just put out a folding chair for him,
The craftsman shows up like 10 minutes later with a new door.
What's the compass saying? As he's making this very awkward.
The compass is pointing past all of them to like the back of the room, like the far end away from the door, where the doors are. Which the back of the room isn't like a wall, but it leads out onto a balcony that you can see the moon from here. Like it kind of points out at the moon hanging down over the horizon.
Does it seem like
Is
the
it on the
center of the
fucking
plane is the
moon?
moon?
It's not on the moon. No, it seems like it's on
Okay.
the moon.
Okay.
It just
Say how
seems
the
like
fuck
that's
we get to
a
the moon.
place of important ceremony or something. Oh, yes, these fine folks you see with me. Look, I'm starting a new chapter of my new story, as you can see. These mortals are accompanying me. And he looks around the room for reactions. That's new for me. How long has it been? Oh, countless years, countless years. How long has it been? The Lady in Shadow. The Lady in Shadow does not answer. This is completely silent. Nobody around the room answers. Oh, come on.
Are they completely motionless? Like, could potentially be painted blocks of wood motionless?
Not that motionless, no, but they all seem
Damn.
very tense. Ugh. Tough crowd, huh? Tough crowd. Well, come on in. I never did get any of your names, but it won't matter anyways, I guess. Mortals, come on.
Eli walks in a little bit.
Yeah, so you
and
had some duty in here, right?
Yeah, it's just over there. It's
Yes. Don't mind us, of course. Go about your business. See, look how generous I am to the mortals these days.
All right, we'll do it.
Eli is like
Yeah, I
walking
guess
the
we'll
balcony.
sort of awkwardly walk across the room.
Eli is also starting to get into like a little bit of a giggle fit because this is a serious situation, and he doesn't do good in serious situations.
I totally forgot about the giggle curse. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta bring it up every now and then, you know.
See, look how happy the mortals are to be here. It's excellent. I've been telling them all of my plans for renovations of. I almost spoiled the secret. We'll get to that later. As you continue to walk through the room, you get to the other side. The anchor is spinning, and the Prince of Frost is repeatedly trying to get the attention of the room, trying to get a reaction out of anyone. He gets up from his seat, and he walks over to the Harvest Monarch, who's the seat next to him, and he starts shaking her chair, like, "Come on, aren't you happy to see me? It's been so long." And she's just standing still, like, trying not to acknowledge him. As these clearly mostly very gentle fae folk here are being harassed by this clearly very evil, unhinged fae. So you get to the other side, the anchor is spinning, you hold it out, it begins to lock into place. I assume you hold it out. I guess I don't want to jump the gun, but yeah. Okay, so you lock it in as soon as you can.
I want out of here.
It begins spinning, and then in a flash, it becomes dark in here. I believe most of you have dark vision, though, right? Everyone but no, everyone has dark vision now, I think.
I don't.
Oh, do you not? Oh, because you don't have the cloak of eyes anymore.
Cloak of eyes is off.
All right, you no longer see all. All right. So there's the flash of light, and then it's darkness in here. Unfortunately for Eli, the rest of you have dark vision, so you can see in here. But the moon was what was suppressed here when you stabilized this plane, and as the source of light for this place got cut off, it's dark in here. The plane gets rapidly shifted to a new location in space, and therefore its relation to everything else shifted, and apparently that fucked with the moon somehow. And the rest of you, except Eli, can see that as soon as the light went off, the Prince of Frost snapped, so to speak, and you all turn around after hearing a slashing sound and a gasp, and you can see a long icicle sticking through the chest of the Harvest Monarch, and the Prince of Frost begins cackling. Can I get you to react now? He summons another icicle. What are y'all doing?
I can't see, but
yeah, you can hear the cackling, the gasps, the blood hitting the floor.
Leroy, gotta go.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, so plane shift.
Plane shift.
Oh, we're not placing the sphere?
We did.
It's already placed. We're going.
Oh,
that's why it got dark. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, plane shift immediately with everyone here. And where's the button?
All right. The Prince of Frost is going to attempt to counterspell.
I'm gonna counterspell his motherfucking counterspell.
Can you see him? I think you need to be able to see him.
I have counterspell. I will cast that.
Fair. You can see him.
It does not say that I have to see him.
The reaction is which you take when you see a creature within 60 feet of you casting a spell.
Oh.
Casting time 1 reaction asterisk, which you take when you see a creature. Yeah, so you do have to see him. But Leroy can do it. Yeah, the downside of no dark vision. So he's going to go ahead and try to roll first. You double check his modifier real quick so I don't fuck this up. Okay.
Wait,
so
what? How does the stack work here?
How does what?
How does the stack work here? I thought I was countering his counterspell.
True. So he wouldn't roll yet.
Yeah.
And yours is a 5th level, right? Let's say his would be a 5th level as well. So yours actually does cancel his. Perfect. He doesn't need to roll at all. So in the process of casting plane shift, you manage to counterspell on the way as well. He's like, I still got an audience for that otherworldly being. Purpose has been served. I will let you go after all. And that is the last thing you hear as the plane shift finishes. You all vanish. And that's where we'll end for tonight. We'll just assume you guys make it back to Drost's place safely. I won't make you roll for it this time.
Oh, yeah. We're making it back.
We're making it back. And finally, you've stabilized all of the planes so far. And not next Monday, but the Monday after, I'm hoping to rejoin the groups.
Let's fucking go.
We'll do some Monday sessions in the Plane of Dreams. Y'all can choose one epic boon or feat or ASI of your choice as a reward for completing this set of 3 planes. And thank you for playing.
The epic boons again.
Epic boons.
A big gaboon. A big gabooner.
Yes, epic
Yeah.
booner.
Le epic boon.
And I need to get back to preparing the Plane of Dreams again because gotta make that one memorable, you know?
I feel
There's
like
some
we should
ideas.
have just killed the frost guy.
I always forget my dreams. No, we did dialogue skips.
Yeah, no, I actually liked the warming the Prince of Frost's heart. It's and stuff. I think that was really cool. It's just he is still a very evil character.
And started
Oh, yeah.
killing people.
Yeah, no, he's still not a nice guy.
He's still a total piece of garbage.
And the
Yes.
way you convinced him to heal his heart is to dominate the entire universe. So
True.
Like, what did you
Although I don't
expect?
think Mahadi's gonna let him do that.
No, they're gonna have an audience, but Mahadi will probably trick him into thinking he's doing that or something.
Yeah, and then just like fucking steal his soul or whatever.
Mahadi probably already knows that this guy probably will not last more than another couple days before the end of the world, and we'll just trick him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very normal reason.
Like,
So.
I almost feel bad feeding this guy to Mahadi.
Yeah, pretty fair, actually.
We just went here. Have this sucker on a platter.
Yep.
You know, we gotta shake it up for once.
He will either be tricked into having essentially no effect in the next couple of days, or tricked into eternally serving Mahadi as some servant somewhere. That it's one of the two. So.
Hopefully the second, the latter, because he's a dick.
Yeah. Because I would wish slavery on my worst enemy.
Especially one you just met.
Yeah.
Especially a genocidal maniac.
Yes, exactly.
In fact, I'd enslave any maniac.
Oh shit. Bold words.
I'm really good at being